Hey guys, it's Doom49, and Battlefield 1's actually a really fun game that I've gotten to play, but I have noticed a lot of people commenting on videos that Battlefield 1 can get boring really fast, and I have to agree with them. There are some things that Battlefield 1 could have done better, and in this list I'm going to be going over the 4 things that could make Battlefield a better game in comparison to previous titles. To start it off, there's not many things to unlock for weapons. In previous titles like Battlefield 4, there were many attachments that you could unlock and potentially attach to your weapon, so you could change your weapon in different playstyles that you were looking for and constantly keep changing it. So you had 2 factors here. One was grinding it out to level up and get all the weapon unlocks, and the second part was being able to play around with each attachment to find what works best for you in certain situations. In Battlefield 1 that's not possible, which is pretty reasonable considering that they are World War I weapons and there weren't really much attachments, but I think we can all agree having a fair amount of attachments on weapons can make it have a little bit more fun and play to it. Secondly, there's not many weapons to choose from in Battlefield 1, although Premium is making that different by introducing a bunch of new weapons. The key thing to remember here is the number of weapons that we do have are not very good, and they are a different variety of each class. So when it comes down to choosing the right weapon you want to use, it really is just that one weapon, no matter the class, and you're going to stick to it all the way through. So trying out new weapons and having variety really doesn't exist right now. Maybe with Premium and the new weapons coming in, we can see that happen. Moving on to speaking about Premium, it tends to be something that's splitting the community and is making it so that new game modes or new maps are being less and less played just because of the fact that it's hard to find servers with people on those. At least this is the case for PC. And also, operations on PC seems to be dying off. And it's not necessarily that it's not a good game mode. These are all great game modes coming to the game and brings in a lot of variety, which is something that's needed to make the life of Battlefield 1 longer. It's just that most people tend to go for a quick game of something where they can have fun. And in this case, Conquest seems to be the #1 most played game mode in Battlefield, which it should be, but it takes away from operations, where when you want to hop into operations, you'll have a hard time finding a game, so you just end up going into Conquest, and it kind of builds on that domino effect where everybody ends up playing that one game mode, and all of this can lead to making the game less fun. Now, when we step away from looking at Premium and weapons, we can tend to look at gadgets, and it seems like there's really not many gadgets and none that are going to be introduced in the new DLCs, but nothing has been said about the last 2 DLCs, so maybe that can change. And in terms of gadgets, you tend to choose just one loadout and spawn with that loadout every time. It barely ever changes, and you tend to have just 1 or 2 gadgets to change from. Again, this could be a World War I thing, and that's what happened. There weren't many gadgets to choose from, but that could be one of the reasons why Battlefield 1 tends to feel boring over time. You have less variety in gadgets, whereas in Battlefield 4, you had a plethora of different things to choose from for every class. Finally, when we look at something different and something that has made Battlefield really iconic, it's the sandbox feel to the game. And by that I mean, in previous titles like Battlefield 4, you could toss some C4 on a quad or whatnot and drive that into a vehicle, or you could even be driving the quad and toss it out of the side on the passenger seat. This is totally not possible in Battlefield 1. Even if you attempted it, it just would not work. So having these little fun shenanigan moments with friends is just not possible. And if we start looking down towards servers where you can have custom game modes, the server creation is very limited at the moment, and you can only create servers that have specific rules. In previous titles, you could change the rules any way you liked, and there was even a new game mode that started spawning because of these rules, where there was a zombie mod for Battlefield 4, and with that, it made the game a lot more fun as there was something new to change and play. Ultimately, it comes down to having the option of variety when it comes to playing Battlefield. It's something we saw in previous titles, and we had a number of weapons, gadgets, attachments, and even a sandbox environment that we could play with and change to our likings. In Battlefield 1, that's not the case. It seems like it's lacking on that, but hopefully with the new releases of premium maps and DLCs, we're going to see these things being brought in, and hopefully some of which that will be given for free to the non-premium members of Battlefield 1. But I'd like to know what you, the viewers, think of this list, and if you guys have any other ideas of your own as to what you'd like to see in Battlefield 1, or things that you think could make Battlefield 1 a lot more fun than what it currently is right now. Because right now, as far as we can see, you only play a couple of rounds, and I think that's because everybody is essentially forced into one game mode at the moment because nobody's really playing the other game modes. And it could be a number of other things that I mentioned. But if you guys enjoyed this video, click that like button down below and let me know in the comments what you guys think, or check out some other videos on screen right now, and I'm going to catch you guys later.